Hi, loves. Maya is here. I am sensuality and love coach, and I help women remove barriers around love. And today I would like to talk on a very unconventional topic of grief as a portal to love. I work a lot with women who navigate push-pull intense dynamics and women who experience mainly anxious attachment style or disorganized attachment style. And when we talk about attachment and our desire to be in partnership and then have this visceral reaction that almost repels it, the important key to understand what is happening to you is that somehow down the line, somewhere, you've learned that love equals lost equals pain. So there is knowledge that might be very unconscious that love is not safe. Loving somebody, being with them is not safe. And because there was a moment of loss that you've experienced, and if you were a child when you lost somebody you love, or you were rejected, or you were abandoned, and that was a moment of grief, but child cannot grieve because grief, in a way, it's an adult emotion, right? You need to be resourced to process grief. Otherwise, grief get stored as this intense, heavy, sad, dark experience that you carry with you. And right, it's almost like, well, why all my friends are so happy, or why life is so easy for them, and why it is not for me, because we carry that unprocessed grief of something I cared, something I needed was taken away from me. And of course, when it comes to building your personal life and creating your epic love story, if you're not going to process grief, how can you invite then love? How can you sustain that love when there is no place for it in your life? And very often I see that this is happening where you meet somebody, you're super excited about them, you start connecting with them, and they pulling away, or stuff happens, right? And everything kind of crumbles. And that experience, then the freshness of this experience re-triggers all of the shelf of past grief and actually allows you to finally, right, cry and bawl and scream and move your body and allow yourself to feel the heat, right, and feel the fire of that experience. Understand it, process, separate yourself from it so you're not defined by what's not with you, and you're not defined by the heartache, and then being able finally to move on. So when you are on your journey to creating healthy, conscious, secure love, if you had experience in your life where you lost love, you're gonna get triggered and you have to sit in sadness, in grief, processing, feeling vulnerable, feeling uneasy, maybe feeling sorry for yourself, and kind of reach, in a way, the rock bottom, but also reach the peak of the intensity of that emotion in order for you to let that out from your system, from your energy field, close that chapter, and being able to finally start attracting what you want instead of repelling what you want. And to illustrate this, I want to tell you my personal story. that actually, I don't know if without that story, I would be where I am today, which is thank you, universe, for putting me on this path. So when I was 20, I fell in love for the first time in my life, where I really felt, those butterflies and like my body responding in a particular way to this man, and me just being mesmerized, magnetized by him, and start feeling that feminine softness. Um, and when that happened, after that, I felt extremely anxious till the point where I would like have to lay in bed because this is how anxious I was. Like I literally couldn't do anything. There were so many emotions and sensations and feeling. I feel so unsafe that it's just unbelievable. And what happened is I met this man at work at my first post-college job. I met that man at work in my first job. And that first job was 2 blocks away from the house, from the apartment building where I grew up, where I was a little girl, where I was born, and lived there till I was 7. And then after that, I had a big moment of loss when my parents got divorced and my dad left and moved to another country. And for 7-year-old, that was an absolute huge loss because I did not have my protector, my daddy, a person who believed in me the most, a person who understand me the most, a person who created a lot of safety for me. That person was physically not present. Aside from the fact that we were talking, he would call me, like I knew that he's not disappeared, but he was physically not there. And then I didn't live in that apartment. We moved to another apartment. I started living with my grandparents. My life completely changed. I was taken away from my environment. So I experienced 2 big losses that I never processed because 7-year-old cannot process this. So I got that job 2 blocks away from this apartment building. And I knew even back then that the moment I went for the interview, I knew that that's not a coincidence. Like, definitely the universe is telling me something. And then when I met that man and I fall in love with him, and of course, I created this fairy tale that he's going to be this perfect man who's going to recreate that experience of safety, having the man who adores me, and my life's going to be just perfect like that. And of course, that did not happen. Things went very much south, and I could not hold the chemistry that we had, the relationship. I needed completely different. I needed somebody to heal me, not somebody to flirt with me and to date me. So that was quite a drama for a year. And the amount of tears I cried that year, I don't think I ever cried every single day for a year, or almost every single day for a year, like it was back then. And that was necessary, absolutely necessary. I had to relive and re-experience everything related to wanting something, not being able to get it, find my peace, and let it go. Because after doing all that processing, crying, reading a book, Women Who Love Too Much. If you haven't read it, amazing book. Highly recommend reading it, regardless of where are you on your journey. Um, so that was a foundation that actually helped me to admit that we're not aligned and we're not going to be together and he's not my man. Let it go. Leave the job and find courage to move to New York City. from Ukraine. Without that experience, none of this would ever happen, and it would not give me so much insights when it comes to our past, our attachment style, and understanding the deep, profound meaning behind reliving negative experiences. And things were not easy for me after that, but that was a huge foundational piece without which I would not be sitting here today. 100%. If I choose to run away from that relationship, if I choose to not to take the job, which was so not aligned with what I wanted to do at all, but I took the job because I knew there's something here, something much bigger. It's something for my soul here, not my career. None of this would happen. And believe me, when I was grieving, where I was crying, where I was feeling like the universe punishes me, it felt like this is never gonna end, but it always ends if you really allow yourself, right, to be penetrated by that experience. So for everybody who is going through those very painful situations, don't take them only as a face value. He didn't do this, he didn't show up, he's an asshole, he's a narcissist. Don't take it as a face value. See through it. See what's in this for me, and know that this process, this painful, excruciating process, it's your path of liberation, and you are removing one of your biggest obstacle around love, which is unprocessed grief around losing the love that you craved, that you needed, that you wanted. And if you need any help and support navigating those dynamics, please reach out. I offer a coaching program for women to understand those dynamics. I also do one-on-one work. And just know that this pain is not going to last forever. If you let this pain to reach the peak, the crescendo, you're going to feel a million times better, and you're going to get those beautiful experiences. You're going to create so much room for your epic love story, and you're going to heal your nervous system. So your nervous system is not going to cringe every single time when somebody comes into your field, right? Because your nervous system does it to protect you, to be like, no, 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 we're not going to feel that. No, no, just let's repel it. But that's not a path of liberation. That's a path of kind of sinking deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper in the dysfunctional relational dynamics. Thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a little bit on a longer side. I appreciate your trust and your desire to step into your love goddess and create your epic love story.